Corey Wilson, November 28, Sunset. Here's my audience. Hello, everyone. I appreciate your time as we discuss the needed support for multiple sclerosis research. And you know, looking out across this crowd, I'm reminded of an old ancient Chinese proverb. To be happy for an hour, take a nap. To be happy for a day, go fishing. To be happy for a year, inherit a fortune. But to be happy for a lifetime, go help somebody. And today, we're taking the first needed steps to helping somebody. We'll go over exactly what multiple sclerosis is, current available research, and what you can do to help find a cure. So first, what is multiple sclerosis? Multiple sclerosis, also known as MS, is a disease that targets your neurological as well as your spinal system. It was first recognized in England by Dr. Walton Moxon in 1873. It was then later recognized in the United States by Dr. Edward Sugen in 1876. Currently, 2.1 million people worldwide have been affected by MS. But that is not an accurate number. That only based off of who reported having MS. Most people that have it don't even realize it. And this is because a lot of the symptoms associated with MS are very common in other ailments. They include dizziness, fatigue, numbness or tingleness in your limbs. They also include double or blurred vision and issues with your bowels. So, what does this mean? Well, don't worry. Just because you have MS and you don't know it, it's not directly inherited, so you don't have to worry about your children getting it. There are some genes that are more prone to developing MS, but that doesn't mean that you're going to have MS just because you have these genes. But unfortunately, for what appears to be more than half my audience, as well as myself, MS is more likely to develop in women than it is in men. But there are 4 tiers of MS. There's your first tier, which is the clinically isolated syndrome. It's at this tier that you're experiencing a lot of the symptoms that I discussed earlier, but you're not having any deterioration as of yet. And then our second tier is the relapse-remitting tier. Here, 85% of people originally diagnosed with MS start. You have your relapsing or deterioration period, followed by a recovery period, and then a relapse. And it just goes on and on and on for the rest of your life. But these intervals are very closely aligned to each other, so they offset. So there's no permanent damage as of yet. However, you then get to your third tier, which is the secondary progressive MS tier. It's at this tier, those recovery periods are even smaller. They can't comp for the regression that you've had. So there's going to be permanent deterioration in your neurological system as well as your spinal system. And then you get to the fourth tier, which is the worst tier. This is the primary progressive MS. And it's here where your recovery intervals are next to none, which means you're increasingly going to get worse as time goes on until you get paralysis and then eventually death. But now that we have a better understanding of what MS is, let's go over some of the advancements and breakthroughs that we've had in currently funded research. We have made amazing breakthroughs in the past 25 years. We've discovered that there are currently 233 genes at risk of developing MS. That is a substantial amount. We've also discovered in 1981 that MRIs can be used to detect MS. And then in 1996, we discovered that aerobic therapy can be used in the physical and psychological well-being of MS patients. And then in 2010 was the first disease therapy drug used on MS patients. In 2017, the FDA approved a disease therapy drug that can actually support primary progressive MS, that worst tier that I told you about, as well as the relapsing MS. But again, there is no cure. MS is permanent. But never fear. There is something that you guys can do. Contact the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. This society has a very helpful webpage that contains tons of information that you can use to help bring awareness and fund research. They have running events, biking events, walking events that you can volunteer at or even participate in a community near you. You can also donate online, by phone, or by mail, whatever's more convenient. And for those of you who have known someone that has died from MS, you can make a one-time donation in their memory. So hopefully, no one else has to feel that pain. So what am I saying? I'm saying that you can save lives just by contacting the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. MS is not a common disease, but it is a very crippling illness that affects our brain and spine. Lifespans are shortened and the quality of life is depleted. Millions of people suffer from MS, and most in silence. Current research has made major breakthroughs in the treatment and prevention of MS, but again, no cure. It's only because of people like you that we've been able to make the strides that we have. So please, adhere to the ancient proverb and reach out and help somebody. You won't only gain a lifetime of happiness, but you'll also increase somebody's lifetime of happiness. Thank you.